It's YouTube, babies. So, yeah, you want to start with the Godzilla covers, or do you want to talk about the upcoming JCU that we're going to be getting?
Let's do Godzilla just to keep it consistent.
All right. So, got three of them this week, and this is like a really tough week because I love all three of them. There is no fucking traced one this time, you know?
Mm,
But so my bottom, even though I do love it because they were going Showa era design on the Godzilla, and he looks super cool. Yeah, he looks super derpy like the Showa era. It's the Hulk cover because like he's got the fat Showa era neck, like early Showa era and stuff. I love the design, but the other two are just better.
hmm
And then number two, it's going to be a surprise, and there's only one reason why it's number two, but this is the X-Men Chris Samney cover.
Oh, I
Would
thought
have
that would
been,
be number one.
it would, but look at how he's doing the blast. It's like he drew the blast and he just like popped on
hmm
Godzilla, like, and that was the one knock because I mean this Avengers Shin Godzilla looks
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I forgot about that one. That
yeah.
is the best one.
It's like, yeah, the Samney one would have been my favorite had the atomic breath been a little bit more, better, but they were
Which
all
which
what?
era Godzilla is I don't even I don't even know how to describe it. He's just like it's like kind of squinty. He's like, you know what I'm talking about? He's like really squinty
Are
and
you
I
going
feel
like
like his like the top of his mouth is a lot longer than the bottom of his mouth.
you going like cat Godzilla, or are you going like where he's kind of like more kitty cat, or are you going like
I
okay?
don't know. Give me a
So
movie. I'll Google it.
well, here, wait. So this would be like a Showa era design. Big
Okay.
eyes, kind of a goofy looking mouth. Hold on, I'll grab. Believe it or not, I got Godzilla's.
Oh, you do? Shit, I didn't know. I didn't know.
All right, so this I don't think you mean Heisei era because Heisei is kind of like this would be the Heisei era. It's kind of the most I'd say
Mm,
known. I mean, like right now
I
they're
don't
they're
think that's him.
okay. Now I'll try to. I got a legend. I got a 2000. Hold on. Okay, and then this would be two different of the millenniums.
Maybe that one.
Here's
Maybe.
here's one without the blasts on them. You can kind of see.
Yeah, I think that might be the one that I'm
That
thinking
would
of.
that would be like Final Wars.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna put these guys up. So what were you wondering?
Maybe there was just like one like still that I saw that he looked a little extra derpy in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying like Godzilla versus Mothra, the original. They're still like kind of ironing out the kinks in the suit. Some people love that suit. He does some derpy things, but I do also love it. But it's like he's just a little bit of a chonkier boy. Same with the original King Kong versus Godzilla. And then like as it goes along, they get it nailed down a little bit better what they want to do with the suits.
Yeah, he's had many looks.
Oh,
All right. But yeah, now you can talk about the JCU.
okay. I actually have so first off, this isn't part of the JCU. This will be I'm let's say like JCU adjacent, but we're getting a Passion of the Christ 2 apparently.
Like a sequel?
I don't know. So I honestly don't know if Mel Gibson's coming back to direct, but Jim Caviezel is coming back to act in it.
Okay.
And what I heard is so like this is like stuff from the History Channel that I've heard before with it being like a legit thing is like they're going to do apparently like when Jesus came back, even though it's not in the Bible, he went and like so one of the lost books of the Bible, he went to hell where he then brought back like a lot of the people that would be from the Hebrews, Bible, like the Old Testament. He took them out of whatever it's called, like when they're not really in hell for being bad, they're just not in heaven because Jesus didn't die on the cross for our sins. And so like he then goes down there and gets them out and stuff, and he'll probably be tortured again since Mel Gibson's probably directing it, be like different stuff like that. Because it's like, yeah, why not have just the resurrection be the biggest deal that happens in it, Like, oh yeah. Ugh. Uh,
Yeah.
so how excited are you about Passion of the Christ 2?
It's it's low on the excitement scale.
Yeah, same here. But I guess there's a movie called or like a TV show or something. Yeah, it's a movie called The Chosen, and it's officially going to become a franchise. This is from Collider. The global smash hit series is expanding with its own biblical universe as several ambitious projects have been commissioned into development. Variety reports that the show creator Dallas Jenkins has just launched a brand new indie production house, 5 and 2 Studios, from which the project will roll out. With its mission to produce Bible-inspired stories through uniquely human and authentic storytelling and audience engagement, the new slate includes a spin-off series on the Acts of the Apostles, an animated series, which is like at least they're going with like stuff that happened in the Bible showing this stuff. Like I think that's and then an unscripted show with Bear Grylls, which is like weird. The 13th
Well,
Apostle, Bear Grylls.
I mean, if they're gonna do like this is the journey they made, then I could see that.
Yeah. And then a 3-season chronicle of the story of Moses. Again, like this one, I'm like, okay, neat. Then an 8-episode limited series on Joseph. It's just carpentry. And so yeah,
You think the season finale will be him getting the dream coat or
see, I was assuming it was Joseph Jesus's dad.
oh.
So it's like the season finale is Mary's like, I'm late. And he's like, but we haven't ever done anything. And she's like, I know it's an angel. And he's like, what? And that's how it ends.
Huh.
Dude, the projects were announced at the ongoing Chosen Con. I didn't know that was a thing.
I've never heard of it.
I mean, that seems like it'd be something that would have to be in the Midwest, though. So I don't know how we haven't heard about
Yeah, just like
it.
the middle of Nebraska or something like that.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's let's be real. They're probably gonna make a lot of money.
I mean, so I think Passion 2 is going to make way more money than The Chosen One, but The Chosen One sounds like, to me, just as a person looking in that knows nothing about it, it sounds like it's more of a genuine thing to get to spread the gospel than the Passion 2, which just seems like they want to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not sure about all that.
Yeah. It's like I know I'm Christian, but I know for a fact that type of stuff is not for me. But it's like, yeah, I'm sure it's gonna have a an audience. But the first Passion, I was like, yeah, this is not for me. Like they tried to guilt me into watching it at my uh, church when I was in like I think high school is when it came out, right? And I was like, I
Mm,
just don't really want to watch Jesus get tortured for 2 hours. I'm good.
yeah. Yeah, I never watched it either because it just sounded uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's like feel bad and then go to church for a little bit. It's like, oh, I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
already here, guys. You don't need to guilt me into it.
yeah. And also, I already feel bad, so
Yeah.
just a double whammy. All right, NFL. The
Do, 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 do.
the Bears had an absolutely abysmal week 3. Just some of the worst football I've ever seen in my life.
A good buddy of mine who has said he's listened to this at least once. Chase, he's a big Packers fan, and I saw him post a thing on, I think, Facebook. He's like, he's like, why on earth would the Bears be trying to pass for this X amount of yards when they're playing against the worst running defense team on the planet?
I mean, look, they got to like the 5-yard line and they ran the same exact run play and did not score. They ran it, it got stopped. They're like, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
It got stopped. They did it a third fucking time and then had to kick a field goal. I'm just like, what are we fucking doing? And it was
I
like
mean,
that the whole game, dude.
that's like when I play like the few times I've played Madden, I only do this like same two plays. It's like
Like
Hail Mary and like a run.
that, yeah, that's fine. But you're not getting paid a fuck ton of money to play call for a
Yeah,
team.
fair enough.
And I don't know, man. I don't fucking get it. I really don't, but whatever. Um, okay. So tonight, both of these games are at the halfway point, so I will not be, this is just you're guessing tonight.
Hmm.
We've got the Bills at the Jaguars. Or
Oh,
sorry,
Bills all
Jaguars
day.
at the Bills.
Bills all day.
Okay.
They losing?
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you this one just because it's so fucking funny. At the half, Bills 34, Jags 3.
Yeah. See, I know enough to know the Jags are a good team, and I also know the Bills are a good team, and I know the Jags are ran by fucking Tony Khan and Tony Khan's daddy. And if you watch AEW, you know Tony Khan doesn't know how to run shit.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about him before,
Yeah.
but yeah, pretty bad. And then the other game, which is probably going to be a better game, is the Washington Commanders at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. So I don't know really shit about either. I'm gonna go with Cincinnati's gonna take it, but I saw a thing. Speaking of the Washington boys, the family of the dude whose face, did you see this? They're like, we love that he was on there. Please do this. And it's like, and then someone in the comments was like, that guy's name was like something something White Calf. And
No,
they're
it was
like,
Blackfoot.
Blackfoot. Okay. Because they're
Or maybe that's the tribe. The tribe was the Blackfoot
okay.
tribe.
Because yeah, I thought that someone in the comments, I didn't, like I said, I did not fucking look it up. So it could be bullshit. They're like, it's something something White Calf. And they're like, White Calves would be like such a, like, have his face and just have it be the White Calves. That'd be such a better name than their current name.
Yeah, he was chief of the Blackfeet. His name, he has a cool fucking name. Chief John Two Guns White Calf.
Dude, if you did the two gun White Calves, you had like that'd just be fucking cool.
It would be.
And like knowing the NFL or like the people that run that team, like, well, let's call them the Johns.
I know, man. It is a bummer. I've seen so many things where they go to native communities and are like, "Did this offend you?" Every single one of them says no.
Yeah. And And like I will say, because there's been arguments that people have said where they're like, you should just give back to these like the local communities, and then it wouldn't be even it wouldn't it's like, oh yeah, we're using this thing and we're calling it this and blah blah blah, but they get free tickets or they get free merch or they get whatever.
How
Like
about
don't give them
this?
blankets.
Half
But
of a percent of
yeah,
royalties.
yeah. And then like that stuff then just goes back to them, and there you go.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just think that would make a ton of sense. And this was like this dude's actual family going like, we miss seeing his face on
Yeah,
there.
it was a great logo. It
Yeah,
really
because it's
was.
it's like between that and then the Blackhawks, they're like the only two where it's like, yeah, they're not using it in a parody, not like the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair point. It's a fair point. But all
And
right.
then Cleveland changed their logo finally. Like
Um, what do you mean?
the Cleveland Indians are no longer the Indians, and they got rid of the racist logo that they had.
Oh yeah, now they're the Guardians
Oh, okay.
and they've just got a C.
They just have Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern. Like some of the stuff that Warner Brothers didn't want anymore.
Right. Yeah. I mean, one of their logos is pretty neat. It's like a baseball with a G on the side, but then the G has like Jay Garrick helmet wing coming off
Oh,
of it.
neat.
And that's pretty cool. But like the basic ass C is like, eh. And
Yeah.
like Guardians is a cool name.
Yeah, it's better than like 90% of like news sports that get names. Those
Yeah.
suck so hard. Like I thought the WNBA had the worst names, and then my sister started getting into soccer, and then she told me the name of your guy of St. Louis's soccer team. I'm like, okay,
City.
yeah. I'm like, okay, I guess they beat WNBA for the worst names
Yeah.
because it's like they don't like. I was just trying to think like the WNBA, they got the Sun instead of the Suns for not Arizona. It's like Connecticut, I think. The Connecticut Sun. And then the Indiana Fever. It's like
Yeah,
that
Fever's not good.
sucks. And then I think the Skyline. It's like, guys, these are terrible. Like we don't have anything left.
Yeah. The coolest one in recent memory, we're going to the NHL. Seattle Kraken. What a
Mhm.
name.
And in all honesty, WNBA, they've stepped it up because I guess they're gonna have a Golden State team now because everyone loves Caitlin Clark, and they're making money for the first time ever, and they're gonna Golden State Valkyries.
Ooh, the Valkyries. Hell
Yeah,
yeah, that's
that's
perfect.
that's awesome. It's like why can't any of these other teams have good names?
Dude, yeah, I don't know. Just hearing that name, it's like I want a shirt,
Yeah,
just based on
yeah,
the name. But the fever,
yeah.
the
No.
Indiana polio, no thanks. All right, let's do it.
What's up, everybody? It is Casey with Two Rules Podcast, and with me, as always, it's the Simon to my Garfunkel. It's Jake. How you doing, buddy?
Good man. Uh, was Simon the Blonde?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I I don't I don't know. I just know that they sang to Darkness, their old friend, and that's about it. And they also look like I always thought they were boyfriends whenever I see them on the cover of records.
Yeah.
So hey, guys, if you get this episode up to 15. Me and Jake will do a Simon and Garfunkel style pose before Christmas.
There you go. The stakes have never been higher.
Yeah. And if you get up to 20, we'll do it naked.
Oh. Well, hey, before we get into the episode, I did another D&D episode with the Testing Room Boys. They it's part 15 and the finale for their first campaign. So go give that a listen, see what happens. See if maybe they died. Maybe all of them died and they didn't make it. And they'll be rolling new characters for campaign 2. Who knows? But it was fun, so you can check that out wherever you listen to this episode.
Man, I haven't listened to it yet, but just thinking about Alex's reactions if Christian died, just the shit that he would give him. Like if Christian was the only one that died and Alex lived, he would just wouldn't hear the end of it. Like Christian would just have to
No,
quit.
I know. Christian would have to drive to Alex's house in another state and just kick his ass. But there is plenty of shit talk to be said despite what happens in the episode. Don't you worry.
Oh, I'm sure. I am sure.
All right, no YouTube comments this week, so we'll just hop into the news. I'll save all mine for the end because I've got like 5 new comic book series to talk
All right.
about.
And I don't really have a lot to talk about, but Joe Manganiello is going to play Sir Crocodile in the One Piece live action. He announced that via his Instagram, so that's pretty neat. If you guys are watching that, that's just one of those things where it's hard for me to get excited about since I'm not watching the anime and the anime is still going on. So it's like Joe's gonna be 200 years old by the time they film the end for this live action thing. So yeah. What about you, man? You care at all?
Nah, I mean
Yeah.
if he's a big fan, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you
And
know if
then
he's a fan of One Piece or is this just a job for him?
I mean he seemed excited, but he also just seems like the type of person that's just perpetually excited.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like he's like, "Oh, this is awesome, man." So but also this is just kind of like a roller coaster of a fun little thing. So probably about Wednesday last week, I saw John Hamm is being eyed for the role of Green Lantern. And then today, before I even started eating, when I got home, I was, but right about to hop in the shower, I saw Kyle Chandler is rumored and he is the front runner. And then Kyle Chandler has just been cast. I found that out when I was eating. So I was like, oh, okay. So Kyle Chandler is going to be our Hal Jordan.
correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the guy from Friday Night Lights?
Pretty sure he was in Friday Night Lights. I've not seen Friday Night Lights, but he's also he he looks like the dude that was in Godzilla King of the Monsters as Millie Bobby Brown's dad.
Let's find out.
So, and
Okay,
I think
he's
he would have been
definitely in Friday Night Lights.
okay.
He's like the coach.
Okay.
Um,
And was he also in um Band of Brothers?
I don't know. It doesn't look like it.
All right.
Okay, but he was in Godzilla versus Kong.
Okay. So yeah, then he would have
Oh
been
no,
this.
he was King of the Monsters as well.
Yeah.
Same dude.
Okay.
So there you go.
Oh, and he was in Super 8. That's another one that people probably have seen.
Yeah. All right. I
He's a good
mean,
actor. Yeah.
yeah, they're going for an old Hal. I'm sure he'll do fine.
Yeah, he's not. He still wouldn't have been top of my list if he had John Hamm, Timothy Olyphant, and Chris Pine. I probably would have gone like Chris Pine, John Hamm, Timothy
Chris Pine for
Olyphant.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love Chris Pine.
yep. But I think Kyle Chandler was in a show I've seen clips of that was like where he's kind of being like a smart ass. So that might, he might be able to pull off the funny stuff too pretty well.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Um, First one I'm going to talk about, Al Ewing and Steve Lieber are going to be doing a new Metamorpho miniseries in December. I don't really have much info on it, but as always, is that one that you're going to check out, or is your hatred for Al Ewing going to overpower your love for Metamorpho?
I mean, it's like it's hard to decide right now because it's like I love Steve Lieber,
Mm-hmm.
as you know, and I'm just not like Al just he kind of it's like kind of gets on my nerves with the way he was writing Hulk towards the end, and then like um his Guardians of the Galaxy for me was just like this is how I want these characters to be, not how they should be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but at the same time, like I love Metamorpho. I think he's a super cool character, but I'm not like the most knowledgeable Metamorpho guy. I just think he's neat. And it's like Al Ewing could probably just do a character that I think is neat and I don't have that much
Yeah.
ties to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good mix then for you.
Yeah, so I might check her out.
Okay. All right. And then next, we've got a new Challengers of the Unknown series. It's going to be written by Christopher Cantwell with art by Sean Izaakse. I know we know Christopher Cantwell's name. I couldn't tell you what he's worked on.
Yeah.
But Sean is doing the artwork for Green Arrow currently, and I can tell you that that is very good. So,
Okay. Is Cantwell the one doing the art for, or not the art, but the story for the Plastic Man?
yes, he is.
Okay.
He's writing Plastic Man. That's what it is.
Yep. So I was in on it as soon as you said Challenge the Unknown because they're one of those characters, the groups I'm like, I'm super in on this weird thing. Most times I'm like left disappointed going, like afterwards, but I'm like still every time like, yeah, let's do it. Let's look at these weirdos.
Yeah, which is crazy because the last one was Scott Snyder doing it, I believe.
Was it?
Pretty sure whenever they were
Okay.
trying the, oh, I forget what that initiative was called, but it had like damage and that Kenneth Rocafort teleporting hero guy. You know what I'm talking about?
I
What was
really
that
don't like
called?
I vaguely remember like a kind of recent one and it kind of being, I mean, obviously very forgettable.
Yeah, like the Terrifics, that was part of it too.
Oh, okay.
What was that? Sideways, I think was the other one. Yeah, DC's New Age of Heroes. Um, it didn't last for very long, but
Nope.
yeah, Immortal Men, Curse of Brimstone, New Challengers, The Silencer, they were all like metal spin-offs.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm pretty sure Scott Snyder did the Challengers one.
The weirdest and most disappointing challengers. I don't know if you ever read it, but Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale did a Challengers of the Unknown book.
That should have been awesome.
Yeah, it was not at all.
When
I
was
got
that?
I don't know. It was one of those ones that when you and me would go to Charleston together, I picked it up one time because it was like cheap and I was like Tim Sale, Jeff Loeb, yes. And then I'm like, this is really weird and like this is like around the time when I was reading a lot of Grant Morrison. So I'm like, this is really weird and not the type of weird I like.
But it looked good though.
Yeah. Though it was also probably Tim Sale's weakest, if I remember right, like out of
It's
his
just
Jeff Loeb stuff.
this looks so 90s. I'm curious when this came out.
Yeah, I wonder if that came out before or after their, Batman stuff.
Let's see. Was it 91? Yeah, 1991, which was their so the first Challenger series ran from 1958 to 1978. And then there was nothing from 78 to 91. So that was like the big return to
Yeah,
Challengers. Probably why they didn't last very long after that.
yeah. Well, it's like Challengers is one of those teams where it's like you gotta like I don't think it works in the regular DC universe, like because there's just so much other better stuff. Like I think a Black Label Challengers book could be awesome,
Yeah, I agree.
but trying to stay within the you know context of the main universe, like you could have them as like I guess a team to do something randomly, but otherwise like everything's gotten like way better, and then they would have stayed the same. You know what I mean? So yeah, I
Yeah,
just
I do. All right. The next one. I don't know if we knew about this or not, but it's Two-Face number one. I assume it's just going to be a mini series, but that's written by Christian Ward with art by Fabio Barris. Um, so yeah, I only know Christian Ward for his art, and you would know his style if you saw it. But yeah, I don't know about that one.
yeah. Like I'm kind of to the point with Two-Face where I'm like, his origin's his best thing. As soon as that's done, they lose so much like of the interesting stuff that they do with them. So
Hmm.
like I'm always kind of like when more like at first I for the longest time I was like, yeah, Two-Face, and then I read whatever whatever he's doing. I'm like, oh, he's just like one side's kind of good, one side's kind of bad. Okay.
Yeah, I think it can be interesting. Like that whole arc in New 52's Batman and Robin was good. Like post Damian dying, it went to like Batman and Two-Face for
Oh, okay.
an issue or two. That was pretty
Yeah.
good. But that's also, Tomasi and Gleason. So
Yeah.
all right. And then this next one isn't a new series, but it's a new creative team. And you like the writer, so I just wanted to mention it because we were low on news. But at Titans 18, Tom King is off the book, and taking over is John Layman. And art
Oh,
will
fun.
be by Pete Woods. So could be fun. Haven't seen John Layman do anything in DC for a while.
I haven't seen him do anything in a while, really.
Yeah, maybe you just need a little break.
Yeah. It's like because I don't think Chu's ever coming back.
Yeah. Did that not finish?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Because like I think it was like it had this huge hiatus, came back for like two issues, and then I don't think anything else happened with it.
sounds like Saga, except
Right?
Saga came back.
Yeah, except Brian keeps, Brian's like, "Don't worry, guys. I swear it's coming back sooner or later."
Yeah. And we're all like, okay, we'll be ready to eat it up like little piggies whenever you come
Yeah.
back. Okay, and then the last one got Batman Dark Patterns by Dan Waters with art by Hayden Sherman. That also comes out in December. It will be 12 issues and four 3-issue series. All of them will be street level detective stories, nothing world ending or cosmic, according to Dan Waters. Should be fucking awesome.
Yeah, sounds like you've won me over.
Same, same. We know Dan Waters can write street level stuff, so
hmm
I'm excited for this 12 issue series, and I'm so excited for him to be on Nightwing.
Yeah.
I can't wait, dude. Can't
Yeah.
wait. So Yeah, that's the news, folks.
All right, man. Before we get into the comics we read this week, I have a a little like pitch I'm gonna give to you. See what you think. So I was
Okay.
thinking about this today. Since Disney owns Marvel, we haven't really seen like any like I think it'd be kind of fun if they could do like a Disney style of like animated movie, but with like Marvel characters. I was thinking which would be the perfect one. And I was like, it'd be perfect. I want to get your opinion since you are his biggest fan on the podcast. A Thor, like, from when we were kids type Disney movie, but with like Thor characters. So like
Hmm.
Loki would be the bad guy, and then all of that type of stuff. Are you
Yeah.
frozen or are you just really judging me right now?
Nope, just frozen. Oh, can you not hear me? I think that could work, because I mean, you look at Hercules, right?
Hmm.
That's what I picture, because they could do a similar, mythology type story.
Yeah,
Um,
and just like you just I mean, hell, you just keep Chris Hemsworth and the guy that and Tom Hiddleston as those two characters. Voice cast everyone else, I don't care.
mhm,
But just have them do something crazy where Loki's trying to kill Thor with some snakes and they dress up. I mean, shoot. Add in a little bit of like mythology because Norse mythology is silly anyway
mhm.
into it. That'd be great. Like that's the only like one of those that I think could do that well and not get too ham-fisted with like seriousness. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I don't know, it reminds me of like the good era of Marvel animated stuff. We always talk about Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but
Hmm.
I also liked the was it Hulk versus? That was a pretty good.
Was it there was Hulk's the Hulk versus was that DVD.
Okay, right, but still, that was really
Yeah.
good, and that was a good, Asgard animated feature.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think I would be all about that. It would be
Okay.
better than, you know, the last two, three live action movies we've had. So
I just think that'd be an easy way to make money too, though, for
yeah,
the for them.
I can't imagine that Hemsworth and Hiddleston wouldn't come back to just do some voice work.
I mean, like Hiddleston, I could see being like, he had a nice ending, blah blah blah. Hemsworth just seems like he's like, I owe my career to this. I will do anything you want.
Yeah, for sure.
But okay, man, what'd you read this week?
I read Dazzler #1, X-Men #4, The Domain 1 through 3, X Factor 2, Chitara #3, The Moon is Following Us #1, Superman 18, and Incredible Hulk 17.
Okay, so I read Spirits of Vengeance #1, Ultra Mega issue 5, Destro #4, The Moon is Following Us #1, X Factor #2, X-Men #4, The Incredible Hulk 17, and Superman 18. I plan on getting through the main before the next issue comes out. So I was like, I'm not gonna start that.
It was perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I thought you're gonna be like, it was not worth the wait. I'm burning mine.
It wasn't not worth the wait, but it wasn't as good as Public Domain.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
get that.
So, I'll take that out of my pile. I don't need to talk about 3 full issues of
All right.
something you haven't read, but I still think I've got a little more than you,
I think
maybe.
you might have one, maybe.
Okay. I've got two and then our Muchies.
Oh, never mind. Then I got one more than you.
Okay.
So I'll start with Spirits of Vengeance by Sabir Pirzada and Sean Damian Hill. Like, so I'm just gonna start off by saying they Marvel used to have that thing in the front where it'd be like, here's some stuff that you need to know, you know. I wish they had that for this because like the last time I remember seeing Vengeance, who's like kind of one of the main parts of this book, he fucking died. So, and he like got his power taken away, got killed, and I think someone else took his power. It's been a minute, and that was like an older book that I read. So I don't know what happened between the two. It'd be cool to know, but he's now a scarecrow, and then some kids are out there that this one girl makes out with him while he's a scarecrow, and then
She of age?
I don't know. Because like what happens is, it's like in very much bad horror movie fashion. They're like, oh, there's that weird, ugly scarecrow. Hey, Becky, I don't know if that's her name. Kiss it. She's like, no, that's gross. And they're like, do it. She's like, okay. And so then she, all tongue and teeth, Becky, is blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, she's
And
like way into that.
yeah,
That's
I know.
weird.
Like what was really weird was the boner I had when I was reading it. But then they abandon their two friends, Becky and Broderick, abandon their two friends, and because they're trying to hook them up, trying to get them to hook up, and they're like, turns out being in the middle of a cornfield, abandoned with a with a scarecrow that your friend just made out with is not a way to turn a girl on. And then they argue and they kind of fight, and then Vengeance wakes up and like burns the kid's hand because he's being a dick. And then the farmer finds Vengeance, and then it cuts to Johnny Blaze dealing with a bunch of sirens. And he just like they have him all trapped, and then they just completely, he just completely wrecks them in awesome, dumb fashion, just.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to the farmer talking to old Vengeance, and there's a tractor in the background. So gave that tractor a little bit too much of a looky loo. I was like, that's a weird design tractor. It's like they went with an Oliver and a deer at the same time, and that's odd. And then like, I won't get into it. But then like the rich kid who got his hand messed up was like talking. He's like, oh, my uncle's got a polar bear that he feeds cows to. And then they're like, the cows don't eat, or polar bears don't eat cows. And then like it turns out it's a velociraptor. The kid's pretty stupid. Um, but there's a part. So this is what doesn't make any sense. They're like, oh, stressing. This guy is the uncle. And he's like, and he comes out of the thing, out of the truck, and he's like, that's him, Uncle Lawrence. That's the freak that attacked me. And then he goes, seems to me like your bag of bone friends over here hurting my boy. That's your nephew, bud, not your boy. But also, the bag of like, it's literally like Vengeance is a thing of hay on with a flaming skull head. If I see that sitting in a wheelchair in the middle of a field and it can like move, I'm just gonna be like, I'm sure my fucking nephew did something stupid.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere fucking near that thing.
Yeah, it's like that. Don't mess with that thing, nephew. Like, why would you do that? What about this seems like a good idea? So, but yeah, so then he of course kills them all, and there's the whole setup of like him trying to figure out where Michael is because that was his host. And so yeah, we're gonna get some more writers all up together. Uh, it's pretty neat, pretty fun. I had a pretty all right time reading it. So I'm gonna go 7 out of 10.
All right. Thundercats Chitara, #3. It's by Sue Lee and Domenico Carbone on the art. Art's freaking cool. This issue is just Chitara having visions about something bad happening to Thundera, and no one's really believing her. And then, wouldn't you know it, something bad happens to Thundera. The mutants come to the planet and are just gonna fuck everything up, and so they go out to fight him, and it's a to be continued. So Nothing crazy to write home about, but the art was really good. Story was perfectly fine. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Right on. All right, Ultra Mega, issue 5 by James Herron, and then we get Dave Stewart, I think, doing the art. And or the he just does the colors, but James Herron does the art. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I waited like 2 years for this book, maybe longer. And have you ever like waited really long for something and was really excited when it was the new one was announced, and then you're just like, I don't know what the hell is going on, and I am very let down.
I mean, probably.
That was this. I was just like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of neat. There's a lot of neat world building, but it's also like, what the fuck is going on? You need to do a little bit better catching us up because sometimes people put their comics away and they don't organize them well like they should. And I'm not gonna go try to find issues 1 through 4 that I have hidden away somewhere, you know? But I will say it was kind of neat because this book, it's $8, but it's a it was a meaty boy. It's got like it's almost like a mini graphic novel the way that they do that. So that's nice. Like you're getting more bang for your buck than if this was a 7.99 Marvel book. Because
Hmm.
soon that's just going to be the normal price of a Marvel book.
Yep.
So yeah, it was very much a letdown for me. I didn't know what like I don't know. It just would have been better if it would have come out like 2 years ago.
Has it been
But
that long?
it feels like it has because I think this was coming out when the Ultraman first Ultraman before the the two like this the first spinoff and then Ultra 7 came out.
Right.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna give it a 6.
Wow. You weren't kidding. It came out in 2021,
Yeah,
March of 2021.
yeah. So I mean, I'm not. I don't know how anyone can remember what was going on unless they had a trade sitting around, or they're better at
Yeah.
keeping up with where they put stuff.
I I've always thought, just based on the covers, that James Herron's art looked fucking cool.
Dude, it is.
And the
Like,
Ultra Mega logo is very cool.
yeah, no, and I follow him on Instagram, and his stuff. Like, he posted some New God stuff once, and it's like it's awesome. Like, he's super talented. It's just it's so fucking weird, and I don't know what's going on. And it's been 4 years.
It's been
It's been 4 years since last came out. So it's just like, I'm like, man, dude, I want to love this. Because I did. I loved it before. But boy, it was a letdown.
So Casey, let's say you wanted to get the trade. Where would you find one of those?
I think this is like a fancy shop book for sure. No, Comic Headquarters on
Ooh.
Telegraph Road in
Yep.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Yep. All right. What order you want to do
Oh,
these
I
in?
got one more, a good sir.
My mistake.
So Destro by Dan Waters and Andrea Bresson on the art. And this is another book where I was like super pumped for this book this week. I'm like, boy, I need to just stop getting excited about books because it just did not do much for me. But Destro, he meets the lady that tried to kill him, and then it's revealed what's going on. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. Like I said, it just was like this was such a letdown issue because like so far it had been really good. Other than that, but now on to our new cheese.
Oh wait. I'm an idiot, Casey. I read Dazzler and you
Oh yeah,
didn't.
I did not read Dazzler.
All right,
You
real
just wanted
quick.
to get the last word in.
Yeah, that's me. All right, Dazzler #1 by Jason Liu and Rafael Loureiro. Art was pretty neat. I'm gonna be honest. They were just like let's go after those Taylor Swift rumors. Dazzler is a mirror of Taylor Swift. Some of the crew is pretty neat though. Like Strong Guy is part of her crew. He's just carrying like big heavy equipment around. Old Mad Rocks is there, like sound testing all of the musical instruments at the same time, or just like setting up a bunch of stuff at once. Domino is head of security. So there's like some fun stuff. The story is fine. She's going on tour, you know, post Krakoa, and this gal whose name is Scorpia shows up and tries to kill her. She's like, "People want you dead." And then Dazzler fights while singing a song. We get a flashback to Domino showing her how to fight. And yeah, then it's to be continued. Also, there's one panel where multiple men are her backup dancers. It's like, man, people would need to be cool with this just being like a fun book. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
I could see some real butt hurt 40-year-old men about Mad Rocks being a backup dancer for Dazzler.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say this twofolds. I'm always mad, or not mad, but I'm always like upset after the way they ended things in Peter David's X Factor run. Like he had a nice ending, and then like after that, they had him be like the thing that started the legacy virus and like or like one of the viruses, that killed a bunch of mutants and stuff. It's like, well, that really fucking sucked.
Yeah, for
And so
sure.
like him being a backup dancer, I'm like, it sucks because like I said, really liked his ending in that book. And so like him just doing stuff that can get him hurt, I'm like, that's no good, but
Yeah,
could be worse. Could be him just over and over again, just dying with this virus nonstop.
true. And the little next issue, it says it's time for Domino and Strong Guy to shine. So it sounds like this is just going to be Jason Liu having fun with Dazzler, Domino, and Strong Guy, and
That's
probably Mad Rocks.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it doesn't sound bad.
yeah, and art's real good. The A cover is a Terry Dodson cover, so it's real good.
Yeah, can't go wrong with Terry Dodson.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. It was
Yeah.
enjoyable. I was like, you know what? This is probably something my wife would enjoy, so I'm mostly getting it for her, but since it's here, I might as well read it since I'm digging the other new X-Men stuff. So
Yeah.
that's what I did.
So what order you want these in, man?
The way I got them sitting here is Hulk, Superman, the Moon, X Factor, X-Men.
All right, let's do that. Alrighty, so the Hulk by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein on the art. And yeah, man, we get Hulk versus what would you like weird monster things again. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I'm glad that Nick Klein is back. Art goes
Yeah.
crazy. We get
Yeah,
some gross transformations.
the big old monster. That one,
Yeah,
that was pretty sweet.
yeah, for sure. Um, and then, Banner quote betraying Hulk. We'll see what all happens there. I'm kind of curious if by the end of this, Charlie doesn't end up with the Hulk.
Probably for a little bit.
Yeah,
Like I could see
but
that happening.
as always, I do like the series.
Yeah. I'm just like, this is neat. I kind of just wish Hulk was on the run from the military again. It was like a more of a simple story instead of the same weird shit we've been getting. But
Well, I'll be honest. If it didn't have all this weird shit, I probably wouldn't be reading it.
yeah, it's just like, man. wish we could kind of go back to basics with the whole. I miss those days, but no, this is fine. Didn't knock my socks off, but I'm not hating it yet.
Yeah.
But
Give it maybe a 7.5.
yeah, I was feeling a 7. I'm a little bit more generous than you.
All right. Superman number 18 by Joshua Williamson and Jamal Campbell. Gosh, this book's pretty when Campbell's on the art.
Yeah, art's awesome, but boy howdy, absolute power just fucking sucks.
I don't hate this tie-in like you do, man. I think it's just fine for a tie-in.
It's just like I'm just like I don't. It's so stupid. It's just so dumb. It's not fun dumb.
Well, it's Williamson's thing, so you just got to deal with it. It's done
Yeah.
now. Next
Thank
issue will be back to his normal stuff.
thank the Lord.
Yeah, I liked all the magic stuff though, and character moments were cool. There's lots of throwbacks to different stuff that's happening. Um, I really like the part with Zatanna where she's like, Zatanna's not my code name, it's who I am. Everything has been taken from me and I'm not okay with it. So pretty awesome character moments in this, I think. And yeah, art's just awesome to go with it. So I liked it. It's probably an 8 for me.
Man, I the art's really, really good. And then I thought it was cool that we had Confusion. I thought that was a neat villain. But then it's like, but it's just like, oh yeah, well, there it goes. It's the House of Heroes. It's crashing. Like, well, thank God that happened. Otherwise, they'd all be dead. It's just like, it just fell. I don't know. I thought this was just, it's just absolute power in itself is just so fucking stupid. And then this was just really dumb to me too. I'm feeling like a 3. I'm not gonna lie. The art's
A
really good.
3? Jesus
I
Christ, you're being way too harsh on that.
I just
You're
was
being
like,
you gave the other issues of this same tie-in way higher than that. And
and
this
I'm
is
just
no different
it's
from
only
that.
it's only I only read one other issue of this because I
I thought it
missed.
was like 16 and 17.
Yeah, I didn't get the first one.
Well,
And yeah, and I'm like, I don't need to.
I think a 3 is too harsh.
I don't know, man.
You've
It
the
was.
other books that you give 3s are just sound way worse than this.
I mean, maybe you could go back and read. You're like, what is he talking about? This is an easy 8.
Maybe.
Alrighty, so now next up, it's The Moon is Following Us by Daniel Warren Johnson and Riley Rossmo on the art. Now, did you dry heave at all reading this, or were you okay with the art?
I didn't dry heave during Sandman.
I know. I always like to make that joke because you're like, I'm not a fan of his, but this is like, to me, best Riley Rossmo art probably yet.
No, it's not better than
I
Sandman.
think I think it probably is because there's not a lot of because like the problem in Sandman was like a lot of the regular folks looked the same, and there's not a lot of regular folks in this, so none of them look the same.
There's not one single page in this book that was like, oh wow, like in Sandman where he's coming out of smoke and looks fucking cool. I just
Fair
didn't
enough.
feel that with this.
Yeah.
It's fine. And the little frog sniper guy's pretty cool. Or
Yeah.
whatever he is, a turtle, a frog.
I think he's a frog.
Yeah.
Turtles got shells.
Um Yeah, and then the last couple pages with Daniel's art is also pretty good. So,
Yeah. No, dude, I loved it. I thought I just want to talk about the I'm assuming Riley designed this character. I kind of hate old baby arms.
hmm.
Like I just hate it, but it's awesome. I really I was surprised. I had no expectations for this book. I almost didn't get it, and then I'm like, I'm glad I did because I thought it was super cool. Like the way that the husband and wife are written is pretty awesome, and then it does a good job of like not telling you everything, but also not really saving it for to be telling you through the whole series. It's just like, oh yeah, this is what they're fighting for. This is this is it. It's a dream machine or whatever. Boom, bingo, bingo, bongo. We're good. You know what's going on now. You know.
Yeah. I think it's funny that you don't like baby arms for his baby arms, but not the fact that his eyeballs are sewn shut.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me near as much. This old baby arms is just it's just weird. And like his baby teeth. The baby teeth, I'm like, I am not into this. It'd be weird if I was though too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I think it's pretty neato. I probably didn't love it as much as you. I think I'm at like another 7.5 with it.
Yeah, see, we're way off with this one too. I'm at a 10. This is my pick of the week.
All right. I think I think you're just way off this week, personally.
I mean, I'm just saying we because it's called
No,
opinions. Yeah. Yeah,
no.
goose butt.
I stand by what I said.
Yeah. You're like, you know what I want? More 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 fucking what's it called? That really shit that happened. Oh, the absolute power tie-ins, please.
I didn't say I wanted more. I said for a tie-in, it's good.
I wouldn't even go that far.
I know you wouldn't. You made that abundantly clear.
The art's good. All
All
right,
right,
though, man. You excited for this one? Talk about this old book.
we got X Factor #2 by Mark Russell and Bob Quinn. I mean, I thought this was much better than the first issue.
Yep, I agree there.
Um, I think it's funny that Pyro is like the comedic relief of the
Mm-hmm.
team because you could easily go edge lord with him.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I like the dynamic between Havoc and Polaris.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just between Mark Russell on this book and then you got Jed McKay on X-Men. I feel like they're talking about it more than Gale is in Uncanny, just the relationship between mutants and humans.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Mark Russell is going to dive deeper into that aspect than Jed McKay will because Mark Russell likes to bring issues like that into his books.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's just, I don't know, it's just good. I think this was a good issue.
Yeah, this was much better than the first issue. I will say the the old furry animal man that's like telling his story. I was just kind of like, dude, I don't really care about this guy's sob story. I'd much rather know what the old hand face is up to.
No, no, no. Tell the people Handface's name,
What was his name? I gotta.
Manuel.
That's awesome. Like, I would love to hear his story because I mean, he seems happy. He's not a mopey little guy like this guy. It's like I'm king of the high fives.
Yeah, it's like, okay, dude, I get it. You look like the Wolf Man, but how do you think I was treated as a
Yeah,
kid?
right.
My head is a giant hand.
I do love that. It's like, yeah, you look kind of like, a character that would be in a Disney movie. And then I'm over here as a giant fucking hand face. And then I also love that like these loser mutants are like, let's beat up Havoc. It's like I don't think you got much of a shot, guys. Like, what's your
Yeah.
powers?
It's like
I'm purple.
we've heard of him. We
Yeah.
haven't heard of you guys.
Oh, and like I love how they start off with like wanting to talk, and then they're like, ah, let's just shoot him. We're mad at him. He's trying to record. Let's just shoot him.
Yeah. And no, like not even like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. It was
Explain
like
yourself. They're just like, no, straight to let's shoot up the place.
it's like, oh yeah, you're recording us? Well, let's be the worst version of ourselves really quick.
Yeah.
So like that was dumb to me. And like I said, the stuff with old werewolf was dumb too. But other than that, I enjoyed it. I think Lorna's being kind of dumb because it's like she's like, oh yeah, these psychopaths that wanted to shoot you like that. Yeah, I'll stay with them. They're my
Yeah.
kind of people.
My people.
The ones that I attack defending you, they're my people.
Yeah.
I was like,
You
that's
don't think they
stupid.
would immediately, like after he flies away, you'd think that they'd be like, so what the fuck?
Yeah. Or like they're like, okay, good job. We tricked them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that like that was dumb to me, but really the book was pretty solid overall. What do you think?
Probably like an 8.
Yeah, I was feeling a 7.5. So there we go. We're a little bit closer this time.
Indeed. Okay, just last one, right?
Yep. All right. So X-Men by Jed McKay and Neto Diaz on the art. And you get your girl magic and like I'm not gonna lie, I probably hate Fitzroy out of like more than any other X-Men character. Like he just looks like he just enjoys a good IPA and I just want to punch him in the face.
I enjoy a good IPA.
I know I wanted to say that though because I was like, oh, he'll respond that way. But he basically just looks like a hipster. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. He looks like Oliver Queen was dunked in the Joker vat of
Yeah.
acid.
God, that'd be so fucking terrible.
So you know how you hated baby arms?
Yeah.
I hate orifice.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Also, I think that Diaz has an incredibly similar style to Ryan Stegman.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't even know until you read off the names that it wasn't
Yeah.
Ryan Stegman. So um now I really like this though. I especially like Beast, you're in. Well, I don't wanna. Well, too damn bad.
Yeah. I do love like my a knock that I have though is like Magic and Juggernaut by themselves should have had no problem with these fucking losers.
Agreed.
And it's like, no, Beast is there too, and Beast is kind of the one that saves the day. I was like, because he does the best out of all of them. Like that doesn't make any sense. And then also the part whenever the new mutant girl is like, "Am I really a mutant?" It's like, "Girl, have you seen your face?"
Yeah. Temper should have been like, first glance, whoa.
Yeah, it's like have you taken a selfie yet today? Because you're literally a fish person.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're pretty hot for a fish girl, but you're still a fish girl.
Like 10 out of 10 still would, but I'm a
But
pescatarian.
definitely a mutant. Um, yeah, the beast thing doesn't bother me too much because like it's clear he's probably gonna be a backseat character for a lot of this series. Or at least just not doing much of the fighting. So to have him
Yeah.
come in for one issue to kick some ass, I'm fine with it.
No, I'm fine with that too. It's just like Juggernaut and Magic are like to take on those losers. Yeah, it's like, but then like Beast should be able to take on those losers because they're pathetic and Beast is awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's just like I think Beast is overkill because they're such losers.
yeah.
And
Um,
and then like one part that I didn't like, I don't know how you felt, but Fitzroy goes back into his thing. The voice is like, you failed. It's like, we did not. Our numbers are through the roof. And then he's holding up. Maybe it's supposed to be his, but it's like, people can't get enough of us. You should see the views. And yeah, okay, it is his holding this, but his hands look,
mhm.
are looking like that. They don't look like metal in the other as metal in the other spots. So that threw me off because then like later on, it's revealed who Magic's playing chess against. And at first I was like, is Colossus there? But now I'm looking back at it again, and it's not. But we get Sugar Man, which boy, his design is the worst, and I love it.
Yeah, I there's just plenty of character designs that I don't want to see again this week.
Yeah. And Sugar Man's gonna be above your bed. He's gonna
Sugar
wake
Man,
up.
Sugar Man looks like he crawls out from under your bed for
Yeah,
sure. Um,
I'm gonna cosplay Sugar Man at C2E2 if I go.
ugh. He's like Modoc, but with horns and a
Yeah.
soda. He just drinks a lot of soda.
Yeah. That's what happens when you drink too much. That's why I switched to
Ooh.
diet.
I do like that I do like that this issue is magic heavy. And I
Hmm.
like I like the chess thing as well. I think that's neat. They're teasing, you know, a return of Colossus. I don't know that I
Yeah.
want Colossus on the team because it's like you've already got Juggernaut. I don't really want Colossus to take Juggernaut's place as like the tank, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my problem with like the thought of Colossus joining this team. It's like, what would he do? It's like he's not as tough as Juggernaut. So what's he gonna do?
Yeah. Ooh, speaking of though, I really like the part where they're like, Juggernaut, what are you even doing here? You're not even a mutant. And he's
Yeah, that
like,
was cool.
I put on this X and it's my fucking problem. I'm like, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I like this book a lot. This one's probably my pick of the week. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, I was feeling probably 8.5 to 9 in that area. It's pretty, pretty good. This whole series has been pretty good. It's nice. It's nice being a someone that can read X-Men and not be like, okay, so what happened in this one shot? So I know what's going on in Krakoa right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that we don't have to worry about that.
I agree. And dude, so many people were like, "Oh, after Hickman, it's gonna suck." Like Hickman was keeping it all together. I'm loving everything I'm reading.
Yeah.
And it's barely even referencing his stuff, which
Yeah.
I'm sure people also don't like. But if we're talking about new reader friendliness, it's great.
Yeah, no, Hickman, I think, is a fantastic writer, but I've said this like a million times. He is not new reader friendly at all. Like hell, when he took on Avengers, it was like you better have read Shield and Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Which if you could get through Shield, you're better than me.
I might have read the first issue, maybe.
Yeah, I know I did, and I was like, I don't know what any of this is.
Yeah.
But what are you excited for, man?
Uh, let's go the two absolute power books. No, just kidding.
Like I can't get enough.
I haven't read the Zero issue yet, but Batman Last Halloween. Just because I want that to be good.
Yeah.
And then Masters of the Universe Ninja Turtles. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're gonna be checking that out.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because I'm pretty sure Freddy does that again. And then, if I'm being honest with myself, probably Saga.
Okay.
but I could also say Werewolf by Night.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. So I'm not gonna say Saga because yeah, you said it. So I'll start
Well,
with
there's plenty more to choose from. There's a shit ton of books out this
yeah,
week.
but like as far as being excited, like overly excited, it's like there's less. But Universal Monsters Frankenstein #2, the first one I didn't get to talk about, but it didn't knock my socks off. But I'm still like still still trying, you know. And then I'll say.
Uncanny?
Oh yeah, Uncanny, and I'm gonna go with Zatanna because that last issue is Zatanna. Even though I don't really care for how Zatanna is being written, the art was so freaking good. Like
Hmm.
it was giving me Ditko, Doctor Strange vibes, like the original stuff where he was just like it just seemed like he had to have been doing some sort of drugs, some
Yeah.
hallucinogenics that could get him like into this type of, into that world.
Yeah.
And that was the same feel that the Zatanna book was bringing. So I'm hoping, and like we got Constantine coming in, so it should be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I am excited for Constantine. Hopefully it's just not Tamaki as Constantine. We'll
That would
see.
be hilarious. All right, man. So I was just thinking to myself, what would be 4 comic books that you're like, that someone comes into the shop and they're like, hey, sir, I'm a new reader. What's some books that you'd recommend? Doesn't have to be like books that you think are the best, but what you just think this will get someone to keep reading comics.
The undisputed number one answer is Saga.
Really? I figure that'd be more of a experienced comic reader
I
because
don't
it's
think it
so
needs to
weird.
be.
Okay.
No, I don't think it needs to be. Because and that also, I mean, that almost never fails. I think there's only been one person ever that was just like, oh, it was just okay.
Yeah.
Everyone else likes it. And then I'll do a Marvel and DC All-Star Superman. I don't really think you have to be super well versed in Superman to enjoy that.
No, that's on my list for ones because it's just like it's to me the perfect superheroes comic. Like it just has everything you could want. It's very good.
Yeah.
And it's not too heavy,
Mm-hmm.
even though like it is pretty sad at the end, it's still just really good.
Yeah. Uh, I think God of Thunder for Marvel is a good one to jump in on. I mean, you really don't have to know too much about that because it's a lot of like Thor in his early years, and then they make it very clear what's happening uh in the distant future as well.
And then okay, with that, that's got the artist is that art that's like always the cover art, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's okay.
Assad
That's
Ribic, yeah,
yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
yeah, it is.
And then just for like younger readers, Sonic the Hedgehog. You know,
Yeah.
most kids know who Sonic is, and I just think that if they were to happen to pick one up and read it, they would enjoy it and get a laugh out of it. So
Right on, man.
there you go.
So for me, also like I said, also Superman, I think that's just such a good like I said, the perfect superhero book. And then I also was gonna say, since like everyone loves Batman, I would go with The Long Halloween. That's like I think one of the best Bruce Wayne Batman stories out there. And I would include Dark Victory in that
Hmm.
combo, since it's like the sequel, so you might as well. And it's also like when people say like, "Oh man, I want a good detective story." Like this is like that's a such a good mystery too. So like it's such a good Batman story. And then I was having more trouble with the Marvel ones because I was like, I think like everyone loves Spider-Man, but I could not think of like a good Spider-Man one to save my life. You know what I mean? Like the one that's like really beloved is Kraven's Last Hunt, and that one I've read it and it's not one that I'm super fond of personally. And it's like there's plenty of Spider-Man that I've read over the years and I'm like, yeah, I like this, but nothing that I was like, you gotta go with this. So I'm gonna go with just Exiles as one of them. Like you get the first trade of Exiles by Judd oh, what is it? Judd, blank on his
Winnick.
name. Yeah, Judd Winnick. I kept wanting to say Apatow, but I'm like, I know it wasn't him.
Different Judd.
Yeah. And so that one's like amazing. You get it really like will show you all the different fun stuff that can happen with the multiverse, even though like Marvel's kind of just right now ruining all of the fun that you can have. Um, and then trying to think, I had another one that would be a really good. Oh, um, if I would go with Infinity Gauntlet, even though it's like a lot going on. I read that as a kid and it just made me go like, this is so cool. And I stand behind it being so cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think Marvel is a little bit tougher, but I think just to like rapid fire some, Fractions Hawkeye,
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
um, like Daredevil Born Again, I
That
think
was
would
one
be a
of
good one.
that was one that I was thinking too. I because then this is my problem with uh the me doing Infinity Gauntlet too though. It's like both of those are on the heavier side and like there's a like Infinity Gauntlet especially where it's like there's a lot of like comic book shit that they might not get, or like
Hmm.
might not enjoy as much since it's supposed to be a new reader. But yeah,
Yeah.
and Born Again is really, really good.
And then two others just for two other characters if they really like one character or the other. Planet Hulk, that was like
Oh
the
yeah.
first Hulk I read,
It's
and I loved it without
yep.
knowing anything about Hulk. And then Winter Soldier, I think, is a really good Cap book. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
same thing, whenever I read that, I hadn't really read Cap ever, and I came away loving that. So,
I will say though, that's gonna ruin that like Ed Brubaker's Captain America run will ruin you on Cap because
yeah.
Captain America kind of sucks.
Well, I'm not for the same reason, but I think Planet Hulk would do the same thing. Like I haven't read a Hulk that I love. Like I like this current one, but I don't love it more than Planet Hulk. I still think that's the best Hulk that I've ever read.
Yeah, no, it 100% like so I'm gonna say this, and this is like as a more mature Hulk fan. As a regular comic, it's probably the best of the Hulk stuff that I've read. As like someone that's looking at it and going like, well, does it really have all the aspects of a Hulk book should have? No, it doesn't, because it does not have hardly any Bruce Banner. Like it's one of those things. So I can look at it in the two different lights.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, that was a good topic. I think it's fun to sit and think, yes, this is a classic, but is it new reader friendly?
Yeah, because like Watchmen, I don't think I would
Oh,
ever like, even though I think there'd be plenty of people I'd be like, oh, I hear this is really good. I would be like, read some other comics first.
I can tell you that that happens. That
Yeah.
happens all the time. People just go straight to Alan Moore for their first books. And I'm
And
like, look, like you can read this, it's good, but this is not like every other comic book.
yeah, it's like I mean, I think the Kevin Smith's books, like they're not like I wasn't the biggest fan. Those are way better for new readers.
Hmm.
Like I think that would be something that like would appeal to a lot more new readers than an Alan Moore, which is kind of hilarious to say.
Well, if I were to pick an Alan Moore book for a brand new reader, it would be Killing Joke. I
Yeah.
think that one is fine for a new reader.
Yep.
And
And
it's just such a good fucking book.
I would go actually, since you go Killing Joke, I would go with What to Get the Man That Has Everything, that Superman annual.
Mm-hmm.
Because that one is really, really good. Though the animated version's better.
Yeah. Or maybe even maybe League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Maybe.
I did not like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen at all.
Well, I think that could be more new reader friendly over Watchmen.
Yeah. Nah. No, I agree. I think that's one of those ones where it's like, yeah, that'd be if you were wanting to read Watchmen, read League first and see how you feel,
Hmm.
and then check out Watchmen because you'll be like, it's a good way to get you ready for it.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, that's it.
Let
That's the
yeah,
episode.
let us know, guys, what books you're like. These are ones that I would recommend, and I don't recommend Sonic because, you know, it's nothing like the movie. Let us know.
It's nothing like the good Ken Penders stuff.
It's nothing like that. What was it? Sonic 03 or
Oh, 06,
oh
yeah.
06? Yeah, it's
The
nothing like
video game.
Sonic 06, the best one. But we'd love to stay in chat, but we've got to talk to our old friend, Darkness. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Two Worlds Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod, on Twitter at two_worlds_PC, and on Facebook at facebook.com/twoworldspodcast. You can email us with any questions or comments at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com, and if you would, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube.